Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory going to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem, and crocodiles, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, salutations to all you occupants out there pushing this truth with all honesty and sincerity by way of the highways and byways, going down the streets, teaching and preaching, and also by way of the internet. Shalom to you, very few sisters, you aquafists out there listening and learning. It's your brother Nayap, and I'm back with a news update. This is for fair use, fair use, fair use. Educational purposes only. It's not for any type of gain or monetary gain or anything like that. So, like I said, educational purposes only. Fair use.
They want to forcibly institutionalize the homeless, and anybody who receives government assistance for their homelessness is going to be required to give up their health information to the government. New executive order just dropped. According to the executive order, about 275,000 people...
I'm going to close it, y'all. I'm going to come back to it. Hold on. Just because it was acting. That motherfucker was acting crazy. I just did a lesson, too, on this black woman, too. So-called black woman, Israelite woman, let's just say probably from Judah or whatever.
They want to forcibly institutionalize the homeless, and anybody who receives government assistance for their homelessness is going to be required to give up their health information to the government. New executive order just dropped. According to the executive order, about 275,000 people last year spent any given night on the streets, and they claim that the majority of those people are either mentally ill, have substance abuse issues, or both. And I'm not going to quibble over the numbers because that's not what's important. What they want to do, however, is shift them into long-term institutional settings for humane treatment through the use of the civil commitment process. In other words, they want to take homeless people that they allege have mental health or substance abuse issues and bring them to civil court for a determination that they need to be forcibly institutionalized. And they want to do this under some pretty broad terms. For example, people with mental illness who pose risks to themselves. In other words, think about maybe a homeless veteran with suicidal ideations from his PTSD. Or people who pose risks to the public, or are living on the streets and cannot care for themselves. It doesn't give any further explanation of what exactly that means, whether if that person is able to care for themselves or not. The discretionary grant programs are going to be reevaluated to determine whether or not the municipality or locality enforces prohibitions on open illicit drug use. So we'll talk about the safe consumption sites here in just a moment. But number two, enforce prohibitions on urban camping and loitering, and enforce prohibitions on urban squatting. In other words, these municipalities, to receive the homeless assistance funds, have to be willing to go through and essentially clear out the homeless and enforce local rules and laws on homelessness. But more importantly, to receive these funds, the municipality also has to be willing to go along with this whole civil commitment idea for people who are drug addicts or who have mental health issues. The EO also requires that the Attorney General will take all steps necessary to ensure that law enforcement has the funding for encampment removals. They also want to get rid of funding and cease activity for any places that have, safe consumption sites for drug users. But the very last one I want to talk about here is this one. Recipients of homelessness assistance funding either have to be permitted or required to collect health-related information about the participants of the program, and they have to be willing to provide that material to law enforcement.
No blacks, no Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a white...
Now, they already having trouble with their birth rates. So it's not the economy. All right. It's not because they don't necessarily have the numbers. It's because they seed is weak. Okay? They seed is weak. And just like one of the elders was saying, I forget who, but you see that, no, like what I was saying, the economy, the more numbers they have or anything like that, you got Esau make it, so-called Caucasian man, make it that on this side you only supposed to be with one wife. You know what I'm saying? You only supposed to have one wife. But that's go against nature in general. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time with that, they know that Jake has been increasing in numbers. All right? Like they say, children out of wedlock or whatever. Right? So Jake, they numbers is going up. They numbers is staying the same, not even staying the same. They numbers is going down. You know what I'm saying? It's just going down. Weak seed. They don't have enough numbers. And that's why Esau Edom did that, because that's what exactly that's Elder Malcolm was going into on his critical race historical critical race, I believe the account name is, and because Jake, you wasn't put Jake, all right, so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, if you wasn't put them with each other, Jake gonna populate like crazy. You know what I'm saying? If he was only able, if he's able to have as many wives as he wants. If Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, was able to have as many wives as he wanted, compared to Jake, Jake would surpass him all the way. You know what I'm saying? Because they already surpassed. So it's like now they're making these things and hoping that, because you're gonna have some people that's informants. All right, some people that's amongst themselves be inside agents, man. It go down with every with everything, with every group there is. There's people with hidden agendas, man. You know what I'm saying? To be trying to do things. So it can be a dude who say he a part of this, but really he trying to give y'all up to the feds. He trying to let other people know, or other YT people to know, to come and get y'all ass, or to get rid of y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? Anything, bro. Like it's everything is possible. Anything is possible. We in these days, man, where even if they it's gonna be them race riots, man. I'm telling you right now, in days is here, man. Like, we in the last seconds, but I'm gonna stop talking.
Any place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even
you don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from...
But they're doing that already on stolen land. They the colonizers. And for real, this is self-hate. This is self-hatred. To be honest.
Across the world have paid to be members.
And Esau know it.
While the men
Esau is
do
finished.
the physical labor, the women take care of the children who live here full time. It could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
So you can't be a Negro, Latino, or Native American. All right. And you cannot be a small hat. You can't be Amalek, which is the same as them, except for they just wearing small hats with big with big ass ears and big noses, and that's Amalek. So they against their own people. They against, and then you got the homosexuals. I mean, nobody accept them, but you know, you so-called y'all so-called white people, man, y'all accept everything. Y'all just do wickedness. Y'all just born with wickedness. So y'all gonna dwell in y'all gonna be amongst everything that's abominable. Jake not like that. Y'all try to get away from Jake. Y'all try to get away from Jake to do wickedness in your own little wicked community, because you know that nobody fuck with y'all no more, man. You know, that's what it is. And that little community ain't shit, man. You know, Esau got some shit. You know, Esau got some real shit. You know what I'm saying? That'll squash this little ass community. This ain't shit. You know, you think this is some racism, man. Esau systematically been whooping our ass through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which is that left hand, that sword, man. You know, like a whipping stick. But hey, them whipping time's over. You know, almost over with, almost over.
They already do.
You might be wondering how any of this can be legal. Return to the Land is structured as a private members association, which they believe allows them to discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, along with other factors. That has yet to be tested in the courts and may well fail. The Arkansas Attorney General has said his office is now reviewing the matter as a result of our reporting, and that there is no room for racial discrimination in Arkansas or anywhere in a free society.
They ain't dealing with that shit.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per
BBL
person.
and everything.
That's
Fake
£200
ass.
off for a
Look.
family of 4. We've got millions of free child.
The reason why I showed y'all this is to tell y'all, stay away from these hyenas.
Holidays
Stay away from 304s,
with 22
gentlemen.
kilograms of baggage included.
The history that has been erased in our nation, and in particular with the Native Americans, happened because it didn't fit the story they created, Manifest Destiny. It only works when Indians were savages, and they had to have savages for commerce and government to expand. The ancient artifacts prove otherwise. Why aren't we looking into those? Peter Wyrick, he's a guy who surveyed the Newark earthworks. He was digging into a mound near those earthworks, and he found a wooden coffin made of oak. They opened up the coffin and found a skeleton of a man holding a little box. It was about 8.10 inches in size. The box had been cemented shut here. This, by the way, is sitting in Ohio. Well, he opened up the box and he found a little man inside, a little black stone. They took it to scholars and they looked at it. The man seems to be carrying something, and there's writing here. At first, they couldn't recognize. The writing is, they thought in 1860, some sort of Hebrew. Well, finally, about 20 years later, they found some rabbis living in the area, and the rabbis looked at that, and they could read it. They said it was an old kind of block Hebrew, and it was a rendition of the Ten Commandments. Now, this is another piece. Block Hebrew. They said they'd never seen anything like it. Mainstream archaeologists at the time called this a hoax. But then,
It's Paleo Hebrew, man.
in 1900, or just about after 1900,
Lashawan Kwadash.
in Israel, they found
Ancient
the
Hebrew.
same block-style Hebrew writing. Mainstream archaeologists still dismiss the findings. They found it in Israel, and they found it in Ohio. But there was another stone that they found that they couldn't argue. This is the Bat Creek stone. It was found during the course of an official Smithsonian evacuation. The Smithsonian didn't understand the meaning of the writing on the stone. They thought it was Cherokee. Since it came from Cherokee country, they didn't realize that it's actually Hebrew. They had published this originally upside down. They threw it in a box at the bottom of the Smithsonian, put it in the basement. Many years later, a scholar took it out of the box, looked at it, and went, oh my gosh, it's upside down. It's Phoenician, ancient Hebrew. So what's going on here?
This woman.
Spirit cannot be racist.
I did a lesson on her. All right. I'll play a little bit. Matter of fact, I'll just play the whole thing. I just can't. If you go to my last video, I already did a lesson on this.
You're not an Israelite. Jesus Christ died for everyone. The one name you don't believe on.
What she about to try to do is just break down the scriptures and stuff like that. And I did a video on her. So I'm only gonna play a little bit because I'm not about to suffer through or have y'all suffer through this whole thing.
You don't have salvation. Okay, we gotta address each one of these separately, obviously, because you're coming from 4 different points. First of all, the Most High Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, he is not a spirit. He has a body. He has on clothes. He has woolly hair. He has color. Let's get it. But my words, but the Most High words. This is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. Spirits don't need to sit. The Most High, Yahweh, he has a body, and he's sitting down on his throne, whose garment was white as snow, and he wearing clothes. He's got on a white garment. Let's keep going. And the hair.
So she's just trying to be in a teacher, type thing. Read Ezekiel 34 and 31. I ain't about to read them. I'm sipping right now, so. But y'all see my last video, though. Go to my last video.
So today, Trump signed an executive order.
No matter how much she even try to break down the scriptures and stuff like that, rather if she's all the way right or wrong, even if she's all the way right, you're not supposed to be teaching. It's only for men to teach, not fucking women, man. Men supposed to be the head of this ministry, man. Not no fucking woman. Isaiah 4 and 1 is for a reason, man. All right.
For making homelessness illegal. It is now illegal to sleep, camp, or loiter.
And I keep on seeing all this homeless stuff is illegal. You can't be homeless. You can't be homeless at all. They making that shit illegal.
On a public street.
But it's like the jobs is fucked up. Let's say you lose your apartment 2 months from now. You on the streets. They making it illegal. They like, oh, well, this nigga got to be hospitalized because they ain't telling if he has some drugs or whatever. You know? And if you ain't got no family, you're fucked. You know?
Only that, but they will forcibly institutionalize the homeless. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to forcibly remove people from the streets, funnel them into hospitals, and then they've updated the criteria needed to forcibly commit somebody to make it easier to institutionalize these individuals. Basically, anyone who's homeless who has a mental illness, which I used to work at homeless shelters. I collected the data. Almost all of them have some form of mental illness because being on the street is fucking depressing. And what is so fucking insidious about this is that we are in a time where you cannot afford to pay your rent, to afford your mortgage. Our housing prices are fucking ridiculous, and this criminalizes poverty. Because you are poor, you can now be institutionalized forcibly without due process and no way to...
See? And of course, you know, it hit at home first, brothers and sisters. Acumen Aqua. It hit at home first, you know. But these Edomites tied up into it too. Deuteronomy 30 and 7. They starting to feel that shit.
Defend yourself or get out. Not only that, they're cutting Housing First programs that provide housing to homeless people without requiring a laundry list of things they need to do first. Because most people who work with the homeless know that laundry list when people are in survival mode is fucking impossible. It is a lot easier for people to get off drugs, to be mentally stable when they have a home. Basically, as they are making poverty worse in this country, they want to make the people that are the symptoms of that issue just fucking disappear. Also, our system cannot handle that many institutionalized people. I worked in homeless shelters in Seattle. We barely had enough beds for those folks. We were always full. There are like 16,000 homeless people in Seattle. There are not that many beds in institutions. And most of those institutions run on Medicaid funds, which they are actively cutting. So where the fuck are they sending these people? That's the real fucking question. But the Supreme Court just ruled that, you can jail people who are homeless now, so they're probably just all gonna go into their wonderful new prison systems in places like Alligator or Alcatraz. This is not about providing treatment for people with chemical dependency issues or helping people with mental health issues. This is criminalizing poverty during a time when millions of Americans are actively facing evictions. So today, Trump...
Shit getting wild, y'all.
Sean Paul making music in 2025 is a recession indicator.
He not lying. I had to give y'all something funny. But it's true. I was gonna say this too. Damn, it was with the last video, I believe. It escaped me. It's cool.
Bill, don't feel bad if you had to skip out on lunch today because you couldn't afford it. Your favorite artist is probably behind on his car note bills. This is why you're seeing the legends from the 90s and the 2000s doing worldwide tours, working 250 days out of the year. It's no joke right now. The economy is ridiculous right now. This world is backwards. Don't be fooled by what you see. I don't want to hear, it's for the love of the game. Absolutely not, sir. It's to pay the bills. It's to put food on the table. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I'd rather be on stage performing, having fun for an hour or two. That sounds like a good way to earn some money on. I got a neighbor that wakes up at 3 a.m. for a moving company that got like 4 kids at the house. Imagine him. But yeah, the point of the matter is the reason why you're seeing all of these 90s, 2000s artists going on tour, making new music, they need money. The money ran out. And a lot of them are not business savvy. They don't have the right team around them. They didn't.
The New York officials today saying that Food Network chef Anne Burrell died by suicide last month. The New York City's medical examiner's office cited acute intoxication from multiple substances in her death. Back in June, the fire department said, without naming Burrell, that it responded to her address for a report of cardiac arrest. If you or anyone you know is currently in crisis, please call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Hotline.
So, Shaniqua, you really told this nigga, fuck that shit. You really told this nigga about my fucking housing, bitch?
Don't do that.
No, Shaniqua really just told this fucking nigga about my housing, and he's sitting up here mad.
So what you mean?
He's mad in real life. Like, it's not that fucking
I've been paying you
serious.
3 G's a month for rent. Your ass, come on, man. You been playing me, bro.
So what? Like,
bro.
I needed it. The rent is not the only thing that I gotta.
She says, so what? And the rent ain't the only thing that gotta be paid around here. You see how women be using niggas? See, Jake, no. This is why a lot of niggas end up going to jail. This is one of the reasons why a nigga end up going to jail. Either over a bitch or a nigga be frustrated trying to please this bitch. Fuck these bitches, man. Let these hoes go. Let these bitches go, bruh. Y'all brothers that's in the truth, let these hoes. If you got your wife, you got yours, hey man, Lord willing she stay with you. Other than that, fuck these bitches. You know, I'd rather be without. I don't even want to be dealing with them if I ain't just about to smack them out or not. You know, when I say smack them out, go ahead and smash or not. You know, I ain't got no time for the bullshit, man. I think that's another thing, you know. Well, that's a little personal. But just saying, shit, I'm letting the bitch know where it is up front, you know? Playing no fucking games. That's what it is. You know, if I'm seeing you or something like that, if I'm, hey, look, I don't even know if you want to, I'm being, like, I just keep all the way honest with a bitch, you know? Being honest, man, I don't even know if you even want to fuck with me or not, because I'm on a whole nother path than what you on. Like, period. You know what I'm saying? You don't say that when you trying to get some buns, but this guy's, man, when you got to be honest, like, bro, look, if you ain't going by this, that, and the third, I can't even be dealing with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to be with you. It's best for you not even to be with me. Go ahead and do what you do out there.
Hey, the fuck is you talking about? I don't have to get a job. Like, you, the fuck, you all up in my shit. You be coming up in my fucking house, so why can't, how are you mad? Bro.
On a first of the month, you on low income, that shit broke as hell, man. I can't believe you, man.
So he's mad because he's been paying me rent, and here I got other bills. He acting like rent is the only motherfucking thing I gotta pay. Like, it's not that, bitch, I'm beating your ass. Bitch, when I catch you, I'm whipping your ass too, because why would you tell him? Why would you tell him? Look how he is. He's really mad. Get the fuck out my face. He's really mad, though. I'm not giving you shit back. I pay rent with it. Rent with it. Rent with it.
If you're my friend and you find over $500 million buried on your own land and you give it to the motherfucking police, I'm whooping your ass.
He seems to even go on and support Hitler. Let me show you a little video.
We've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture effectively was saying, this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture. Yeah, not just white, but white American.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
Men saying, I've just decided altogether to avoid women, that it's better to be single, guys. And they're like almost proud, happy about the fact that they're gonna choose and make the choice to avoid the entire gender of women because they have yet to actually resolve the war they have within themselves.
All right, everybody, we have breaking news, as it's just been reported that a 70-year-old woman has just been arrested in Israel for a supposed assassination attempt on Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime.
Vladimir Putin has officially banned Satanism. Talk about a good day in Russia, huh?
Ведут против нас все более агрессивные информационные атаки. Целью выбирают прежде всего, конечно, молодых людей, молодые поколения. И здесь опять лгут постоянно. Извращают исторические факты. Не прекращают нападки на нашу культуру, на русскую православную церковь, другие традиционные религиозные организации нашей страны. Посмотрите, что они делают со своими собственными народами. Разрушение семьи, культурной и национальной идентичности, извращение, издевательство над детьми вплоть до педофилии объявляются нормой их жизни. А священнослужители, священников принуждают благословлять однополые браки. Да Бог с ними, пускай что хотят, то и делают. Что здесь хочется сказать? Взрослые люди имеют право жить, как хотят. Мы к этому так и относились в России, и всегда к этому будем так относиться. Никто в частную жизнь не вторгается, и мы не собираемся этого делать. Но хочется им сказать, но посмотрите, извините меня, священное писание, главные книги всех других мировых религий. Там все сказано, в том числе то, что семья – это союз мужчины и женщины. Но и эти...
Interesting enough, fun fact, maybe people don't notice, but Vladimir Putin is a Christian. He publicly identifies himself as a Christian. He's a part of the Russia Orthodox Church, at that. So if that's true, he's a...
$9 billion worth of crap that was in our federal funding that is now being rescinded. This is a good thing for the American people.
One program in the $9 billion worth of crap that she's talking about is a program that saved millions of kids, and I know because I was one of them. Congress just voted to defund UNICEF. It's the United Nations Children's Fund, which is a historic global aid group that was founded after
World War II, dedicated solely to helping vulnerable children. I was born in Bosnia, in what is now Bosnia, former Yugoslavia, and I lived there with my parents. I was an only child, and the war broke out when I turned 4 and was raging for about 4 or 5 years after that. Growing up there was a horrific experience, especially as a child when you don't really know what's going on. You hear the bombs, the artillery shells, the machine gun fire that are terrifying. And, I remember seeing the faces of my parents trying to figure out what the hell they were going to do with this little kid in a war zone. You can't escape that kind of situation. And oftentimes they would bring home with them food provided by UNICEF. And at the time I had no idea what UNICEF was. I just remember seeing its blue logo of a mother and child stamped on these sacks of flour that they would bring into our bomb shelter every day. And every time I saw that, I knew that it was a good thing. We could eat finally. I think that UNICEF has done a lot of good around the world, not just for me, but for millions of other kids.
I think every American agrees the government spends way too much money on things that don't matter.
And covering this in Congress right now is kind of absurd to me because, I'm not getting any good answers as to why these cuts are being done other than some kind of contrived talking points about so-called transgender operas and sex workers in Haiti, things that have nothing to do with the mission of UNICEF.
Fraud, waste, and abuse, we've been targeting that every area. This was directed to wasteful spending in the previous State Department.
And UNICEF was warned even before this House vote cutting this funding that it would directly lead to suffering and death. If it continues, this is only the first year of the Trump administration. If they continue withholding this kind of funding, I think it's going to be deadly. We've already seen the negative effects of winding down USAID funding. This is kind of a double body blow for vulnerable people worldwide.
We can confirm the death of, and this is the Suwaida region, what we're discussing, of Syria last week, of U.S. citizen Hossam Saraya.
And what's crazy is when you see these type of videos and stuff like that, hey man, this shit been happening to us, our people, bro. The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. For thousands of years, man. So I can give a fuck about what these other nations. I don't care about what these other nations go through, man. Them motherfuckers ain't never care about us. They putting these motherfuckers on the news. You know what I'm saying? But it's just for educational purposes only. To show you what goes on, man. Just with this devil in general. Wherever this fucking wicked man go, I said it's like soot. It's like rust. It's like the nigga touches you with rust or pollution or death. The death adder.
Safeway workers across Northern California are ready to strike if a new contract deal isn't reached by midnight on Friday. I'm Asia Selden with your Bay Brief, and we're going to break it down. The union representing 25,000 Safeway employees says they've been negotiating for months, asking for better pay and health care. Meanwhile, Safeway, the Bay Area's biggest grocery chain, says it's still bargaining and working with a federal mediator. But workers say $28 an hour isn't enough to survive in the Bay Area. And if there's no deal, they're hitting the picket line. Now to Lake Tahoe, where we're learning new details about a deadly boating accident last month. The NTSB says none of the...
I don't care what you say. $28 an hour still don't make you feel good. Don't nothing make you feel good in this motherfucking fucked up ass place.
8 people who died were wearing life jackets. Of the 2 survivors, one wore a life jacket, the other held onto one until rescued. The group was out celebrating a birthday when the storm rolled in. I'm Asia Selden. That's your Bay Brief. See you next time. With BBC News, fighting has broken out between Thailand and Cambodia in a dramatic escalation of a border dispute that's been simmering for several months. The Thai health minister says at least 11 civilians and 1 soldier have been killed so far in the clashes. Thailand has used fighter jets to bomb targets across the border, while Cambodia has fired artillery and rockets into Thailand. The Thai authorities say all checkpoints between the two countries have been closed. Thailand has ordered the evacuation of nearby villages on its side of the border. On Wednesday, Bangkok announced it was expelling Cambodia's ambassador and was withdrawing its own envoy from Phnom Penh. Thailand's foreign ministry has been holding a news conference about the incident. Let's hear some of what the spokesperson had to say.
The Royal Thai government urges Cambodia to cease its repeated acts, which constitute severe violations of international law. Such actions fundamentally contradict the principles of good neighborly relations and good faith, and will further undermine Cambodia's reputation and credibility on the global stage.
Some live pictures coming into us. We understand there will be another briefing to the media about the situation with Thailand sealing its border with Cambodia after those military clashes have killed at least 12 people. So more details coming into us there from the on this story, with Cambodia has been accused of firing rockets into a Thai village and attacking a hospital, while Thailand has carried out airstrikes on Cambodian
Some shit going on.
military.
We're slowing down the hiring in jobs that are, quite frankly, soul-crushing jobs. I mean, just think about like IT support. 97% of standard software automatically generated by AI now. And the pressure on supporting function and people has been cut in half. Customer support, 80% of the customer inquiries and cases now are fully managed by agentic AI. And think about security and risk management in real time. All the patchwork and the change management is done by agents now. And the same is true of go-to-market. Think about people that talk to customers. There's no prep work anymore. Their AI teammate is doing that for them at ServiceNow. So the speed of the company has accelerated dramatically. The supporting cast of the soul-crushing work is now being done by agents. They work hard 24/7. You don't have to pay them. And they don't eat any lunch. And they don't have any health care benefits. So they're very affordable. And that really complements our workforce. So we're still hiring, but we're hiring less in those supporting functions. And I suppose that's going to happen to all well-run companies. And I say that because we now need to think about how you run a corporation on ServiceNow, how you change the way you run your business processes. It could be order to cash, procure to pay, hire to retire, design to product. These are all processes that go across functions.
See, the thing is, the brothers already know, but the young, because I'm 29, man, and I'm letting you know there is no future. There's when it comes to working and shit like that, you're slaving to be in the box. You know what I'm saying? People don't have no ambition to go. All right, there's no ambition, because what is it to strive for? What is it to strive for? Really think about that. What the fuck is it to strive for? Nothing. Because everything comes with a sacrifice. You wanna make some music. All right, you can make your own music. Do you wanna if you want it to go viral or whatever, you gotta pay motherfuckers. And if it do go viral, you know what I'm saying, you might only go viral for a little bit, right? But let's say if you actually do come out with songs and people actually do like you, like them other celebrities and stuff like that, man, you gotta be getting, all these files gotta be against you. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole bunch of people that turn homosexual being into that thing. So there's no people have gave up, because there is no such thing as American dream. This is a place of this is a prison. Okay? And the faster that you understand that, you know what I'm saying, the easier your life will be. You'll be like, well, I'm living in shit. I know I'm living in shit. So then you'll be looking forward to be out of shit. But if you know you living in shit and still trying to make it in shit, you just gonna be shitty. I guess.
And we need to have
I believe this was in start with a mute. It's like Mew, something like that. I think. If y'all can go to that website.
No, I want to ask you something. Do you know what a bomb shelter is? Have you run to a bomb shelter every 5 fucking minutes? I'm from Israel. I know what's to live under attack.
The kids that you kill every day don't have bomb shelters. So I don't want to hear anything from you motherfuckers.
We don't.
The kids that you guys kill every day, the children you guys kill every day, don't have bomb shelters. You have bomb shelters. Innocent children, you are murderers. You are murderers. You are murderers from a genocidal apartheid state. You are crying about having bomb shelters to run to, while Palestinian kids get killed every day. Hundreds of kids every day. The reason why you have a bomb shelter is because you bomb everyone all across the Middle East. You have the bomb shelters because it's retaliation for your war crimes. You guys killed 300,000 Palestinians are dead. 300,000. 300,000 are dead or missing. They don't want you guys to know this. What I'm about to say, they don't want you guys to know this. You are low IQ. So.
It's the truth. Hey, these crashes been happening every day.
We have major breaking news, and it is not a good sign. Donald Trump just posted on his Truth Social a few minutes ago that, quote, Iran should have signed the deal. I told them to sign. What a shame and waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. So this is a clear sign that potentially a U.S. strike is imminent. As we reported yesterday, there were 27 massive Stratotankers, Boeing Stratotankers flying, repositioning to the area. The aircraft carrier that was stationed in the South China Sea had been moving on its way today, and the Pentagon has very high levels of pizza ordering at the Domino's near the Pentagon, which is an indication that everyone is at work. So
Oh, yeah. My bad, y'all. It says the World Health Organization warned on Tuesday in major Chikwanda. I think that's how it said. Pronounced. It said virus epidemic risk sweeping around the globe, calling for urgent actions to prevent it. So yeah, man. More and more shit. Motherfuckers look like the nerd clusters.
This nasal spray, though, is different from the other drugs that are out there that...
Just like, like for the past couple of days, I've been feeling funny just because of the, they talking about all these Canada fires and shit like that. Like, all that air quality, like, that shit's been fucked for real, bro. Like, that shit be, like, Really fucking with niggas.
Target the amyloid proteins that accumulate in the brain. This spray targets inflammation. So what role does inflammation play in Alzheimer's?
Well, we think that inflammation plays a very important role because the amyloid and tau and other proteins cause inflammation in the brain, sort of like getting pneumonia. And this inflammation causes toxic substances and damage to the brain. And there really isn't anything that's targeting inflammation. We've had very good results in our animals, and we've also been using this in other neurologic diseases like MS, where we've seen positive effects. And so we elected to do it in Alzheimer's. Our first patient showed a dramatic effect on decrease in inflammation in the brain. And we just met today at the hospital, Brigham and Women's Hospital, and we're ready to do a bigger trial with more people.
So he showed a dramatic reduction in inflammation in the brain. I know he didn't get his memories restored, but did he also show a dramatic improvement in the degradation of his symptoms and condition?
Well, it's hard to say on one person who's affected, but his wife says that he is more socially engaged. When he went to the Super Bowl with his friends, he seemed to understand more. He looks after himself more. So the family thinks things have stopped or slowed down and that he's doing a little better.
This is why black people don't call the police. Glorilla just got arrested after her house got robbed while she wasn't even there. So 3 suspects tried to catch a lick, and they started getting shot at by people in Glorilla's household. When the police pulled up to her place, they were investigating, and they noticed something that had nothing to do with the investigation at all. The police is like, well, we seen it, so we have to act on it. And I'm just like, well, why don't y'all really do that when it's one of y'all own? So now Glorilla's facing felony possession of a Schedule 1 drug, which is just for marijuana.
Celebrities, man. Fuck the corny music. They trying to teach robots how to operate on you by putting the, I believe, is it a catheter down your throat? So you can be able to, I believe, so you can be able to eat or breathe or whatever the case may be. They teaching robots how to do that shit, bro. Bro. What the fuck, bro?
I saw this comment that said, I'd rather be poor in an all-white country than rich in a multicultural one.
I noticed the same thing on Twitter. This December 2024 tweet from Nick Fuentes, a Holocaust denier who was hanging around January 6th. He said, I don't really care about the economy that much. I just don't want to live in a country that looks like India. And this guy, whose own Twitter bio professes him a Christian nationalist, he says he'd rather live in a poor white country than a rich multicultural one. Logan, a guy with more than 100,000 followers on Twitter, is an avowed fan of Stephen Miller. According to an insider who spoke to the New York Times, Trump joked about his longtime advisor, Stephen Miller, saying that if it were up to Miller, there'd only be 100 million people living in the USA, and they'd all look like Stephen Miller. Logan is amplifying and celebrating that theme, but zoom into Logan's commentary here. Some things are worth more than money. It's dawning on Logan that mass deportations hurt the American economy. It's dawning on them that wrecking the economy will discourage immigration. They want America overwhelmingly Christian and overwhelmingly white. If they have to destroy the American economy, they'll destroy the American economy.
I saw this comment that said, I'd rather be poor in an all-white country than rich in a multicultural one.
I noticed the same thing on Twitter. This December.
Israel controls all of the borders surrounding Gaza, which means that all of the aid that goes into Gaza is distributed through a handful of crossing points like this one where we are, Karim Shalom, in southern Israel. We're right on the border here with Gaza. But controlling the aid, it means that Israel can turn off that aid going into Gaza like a tap. It's estimated that around 500 trucks need to pass into Gaza every single day, not just pass into Gaza, but also the aid distributed from it to feed the more than 2 million people in Gaza. And that was before this current food crisis. Remember, the UN Secretary General has described what's going on inside Gaza as a horror show. This vehicle is taking much needed fuel into Gaza. When the trucks cross over the border, they need to be screened. They're offloaded into a kind of holding area. Israel is pointing the finger at aid agencies, saying there is aid stockpiled on the other side of the border inside Gaza, waiting to be distributed.
Well, the main problem is the collection and distributing issue. We have here approximately 1,000 trucks, humanitarian aid, that entered the Gaza site, awaiting collection and distribution to the people of Gaza.
In turn, organizations such as the United Nations.
Hey, and hey, all that food right there, you know, they saying you can't airspace, you can't fuck with no boats, you can't fuck with no cars. Them niggas is getting picked off day by day while starving to death, bro. It's a wrap for them niggas. I don't know how anybody else want to look at that shit. What, save one nigga and then kill him at the end? Like, Esau be working dirty, bro.
Say that Israel makes it incredibly complicated and incredibly difficult to distribute that aid by refusing to guarantee sufficient safe passages for vehicles to get through the Gaza Strip. Remember that Israel...
Because they like, if they eat, then they're going to get strength, then they're going to try to overpower us. Which that can't even happen anyway because they have the guns.
Occupies around 8...
Them niggas got sticks. They don't even have sticks, they got sand. And other people's body parts to throw at them. Like, come on, bro.
86% of Gaza now. It's hugely controversial, this distribution of aid. Remember that the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation was given control of distributing aid in Gaza back in May because Israel says that the previous distribution by the United Nations, that Hamas managed to loot aid and sell it and profit from aid which should have been distributed amongst the people of Gaza.
That shit is not gonna happen.
Israel.
That shit gonna come on back, or that shit gonna be, they gonna incinerate that bitch.
If you have a job in the United States, I need you to give me the next minute and a half of your time. Please, I'm begging you, okay? My name is Nicole. I work in human resources at an executive level. Today, July 23rd, a House resolution, HR 1319, was introduced. What is HR 1319? It is a seemingly innocuous one-page resolution that was introduced. And what does it do? It strips and just guts the definition of an employee under the Fair Labor Standards Act. So now you're asking, what the fuck does that mean? I'll break it down for you. All the things that you have as an employee, all the protections and entitlements that you have as an employee would go away. You could potentially be reclassified as an independent contractor. What this does, this particular resolution broadens the definition of an independent contractor and narrows the definition of an employee. And if that were to happen, employers could go run rampant, reclassifying the majority of their workforce as independent contractors, reducing their liability for taxes or tax purposes, benefit liability, overtime liability. If you think employers won't take advantage of this, you're wrong. They will, 100%, absolutely. And what this means for the average American who is a full... I got tripped up over my words because I'm talking so fast and my brain is running 1,000,000 miles a minute. But as I was saying, this means that you would lose all the things that you have come to know and become standard for a typical employee in the United States. All of your entitlements and protections are out the window because independent contractors do not qualify for those. And that is things like minimum wage protections, overtime protections, benefit entitlement, OSHA regulation entitlement, ability to unionize, ability to take protected leave under the FMLA, workers' comp, unemployment, all of that goes out the window if you are an independent contractor. I have shared a lot of information about this on my page. I'm asking that you look it up, go Google it, HR 1319, and spread the word. If this were
at 30 years old, I'm sitting here trying to figure out, what do y'all need missiles for? Like, in this generation, in today's time, where motherfuckers just genuinely don't give a fuck, do y'all really know why y'all fighting? Like, anybody that's in the army, when y'all get sent over there, do y'all know why? That be my only, like, why do they need that big-ass missile? Who are they after? Who are they trying to kill? And why? And why would we be over? Here's my thing. The people that be sending motherfuckers to war be sitting at the office comfortably. They be sitting at an office at a round table comfortably with their feet kicked up. They go home to their families. They call their wives. They do everything comfortably. While everybody else is just they pawns and get on send-off missions. That's how I view it. You want a send-off mission? Oh, I don't like them niggas over there. I'm going to send about 30 motherfuckers over there to go kill them.
Go in the crib.
This is my estate.
Go in the crib.
I don't care.
Go in the crib.
We are
Go in the crib.
We are
Go in the crib. I don't care.
Yeah, what do you do?
I don't care. I don't care. You say you mad. Go in the house. Go in the house. Go in the house. What? Come on, touch me. Okay. Touch me. Touch me. Oh my. What? Fuck you. Touch me. Touch me. Fuck is you talking about? Fuck is you talking about? Fuck is you talking about? I'm not playing with you. Get off my porch. Get off my porch. Get off.
Hey, don't be fucking around, you know?
My porch. Get off my porch. Get off my porch. Get off my porch. You came on my property. You talk to me first. Get off my porch. Get off. And I'm a minor. And I'm a minor. Get off my porch. Get off my porch. Get her off my porch. Get her off my porch. Get her off my porch.
We're gonna play the racist card. Hey, you always
just hear the whole conversation you just had? Brother, you're not the first guy to be like, oh, it's a black power, white. This isn't a white supremacy thing. This isn't. You're witnessing this. This is. Yeah, it's Officer Thompson. I don't.
Can I ask you one thing?
Yeah.
Why are you bothering us?
Well, I'm not trying to bother you, ma'am. Again, I just wanted to make sure he wasn't bothering you, and that he didn't.
You're bothering.
He matches the description a little bit. So if I could.
You're bothering us. So if you don't have a warrant, then you don't need to see his ID. Why are you?
So you guys aren't going to comply? You guys aren't going to help me out here?
Simple, dude. Unless we have to.
Would be,
if you have a warrant, yeah, we'll show you our IDs.
It'd be really cool if you just show me. I'm not worried about you.
Super.
Hyperledger system is maintaining a dossier of your travel habits, your health records, what bedroom you sleep, what rooms you occupy in your home, what is your activities of daily living, what music do you like, who is registered in your cell phone directory, who is registered in your email directory, what browser searches do you follow, what is your driving record, what is your DNA? You'll have a DNA dossier. Your DNA will become your molecular MAC address, your media access control for neuromodulation to tether you to the cloud. They will have a whole file for under precision medicine for your DNA, and your DNA is essentially your plastic tag for a dairy cow on the air. Is your DNA. Palantir will have a copy of your molecular MAC address, and your income tax filing, your bank statements, your mortgage information, all of that's going to be zeroed out by the year 2030. You may have $100 million in brokerage account. It will be turned into zero, and you'll be given a social credit score, and our entire money system will be flipped to Hyperledger system, known as central bank digital currency or cryptocurrency. Hyperledger system is maintaining a dossier of your travel habits, your health records, what bedroom you sleep, what rooms you occupy in your home, what is your activities of daily living, what music do you like, who is registered in your cell phone directory, who is registered in your email directory, a browser search.